Market and Application lecture, lecture 3. This is lecture 3.3, and we're going to be talking about the graphical representation of the way to picture this market application space that we listed in the last lecture. It'll be very much like the technology graphical representation, and it's for a purpose, which is to build up and then use these graphical pictures to talk about the whole innovation process in a few lectures from now. And also will summarize the market application lecture series. So here's the graphical universe of the pen markets that we would put together based on our list from last time. We have the engineers and scientists. Remember we talked about the more innovative potential space where what do people do, like with what I'm using here, paperless professionals, what kind of pen do I have? Is there any kind of is that a good market to go into if I happen to have knowledge of particular regular kinds of pens or had researchers thinking about other kinds of pens? So that's a whole other area. We talked about college students. Again, these are just examples, general purpose writing. Professionals, which of course would break down into other dots. So these dots aren't meant to be all-inclusive, or that they can't be broken up into smaller market segments as well, as I've mentioned previously. It's just to give you an idea that, the more markets I consider, the larger the circle and the greater uncertainty, because I'm willing to look at more things: school, children, luxury, extreme conditions, artists, etc. So just like with the technology space, one can ask, well, I could make an infinite number of these, and I could make one. And so the answer is, depending on how innovative you want to be, you would consider more and more. So the more components that you consider, the more possibilities that you have to be innovative. Of course, the higher the risk and the longer the time it takes to investigate all of those different markets. So again, there's a clear trade-off. Like with anything, which is the risk-reward trade-off. The higher risk is to consider more and more things for a potential higher return by having a market application identified for what other things that you're considering. So that classic trade-off I just mentioned is the risk-reward trade-off. So again, going forward, just like for the technology space, the size of this circle is going to represent the degree of uncertainty. So if I'm going to think deeply and try to find new innovation space dependent on market application element, then I'm going to consider as many of these possibilities as I can, and then I'll have to narrow them somehow by putting a lot of work into looking at the different market spaces through the what I mentioned last time: research, conversations with experts, and interacting with these application areas as well as with industry. So to summarize the market application element lectures, we used an example of the pen again and looked at the markets involved in the pen. You should be able to develop a universe of these market applications for any potential innovation besides the simple pen example that we've used here. And now you should do this for reading glasses, just like we did for the technology case. A good exercise, doing is understanding. Innovation is one of those things that requires performance. These lectures can be revealing academically, but you have to be thinking and practicing in addition to seeing these lectures. So one thing is to imagine that you want to innovate in reading glass space, and so think of all the different applications. Obviously, in this particular case here, the people that converge in this innovation, if they were thinking about a lot of different market applications, had thought quite a bit about portability and things like that. But in general, try to go back to an earlier day for them where they're thinking about innovating in reading glass space and thinking about all the different market applications where they could possibly find some innovative space.